Whoa, Australopithecus isn't supposed to be in that display. No. Homo habilis was erect. Australopithecus was never fully erect.
Well, maybe he was nervous.
The Armchair Quarterbacks are covering America's pastime from spring training all the way to the Fall Classic.
5-2 Dodgers in the ninth. They've done it. Like the 1969 Mets. It's the impossible dream revisited.
And Myers bringing it. And the pitch is hit in the air. Foul off first. Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it. It's a base hit. It's a 1-0 victory.
Left field, way back. Blue Jays win it. The Blue Jays are World Series champions. Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the ninth inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. Touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Armchair.
Top Gun Supply is the friendly gun shop. They are a Glock Blue Label dealer for military and first responders. So stop on by at Top Gun Supply at 525 State Road 16, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. The friendly gun shop, proud sponsor of the Armchair Quarterbacks.
Hi, this is Britney Spears.
What up, this Jay-Z.
This is Jennifer Lopez. Armchair.
Are you looking for the perfect gift for any sports fan, or just looking to add some stuff to your own man cave? Then head on in to MVP Collectibles at the St. Augustine Outlets Mall. They carry Seminoles, Gators, Bulldogs, Canes, Longhorns, Bama, Buckeyes, Wolverines, Vols, you name it. They have Patriots, Jaguars, Titans, Dolphins, Browns, Ravens, Steelers, Chiefs, whoever you're looking for. Yankees, Red Sox, Cardinals, Braves, whoever you like. The best selection you'll ever find for the sports fan that thinks they have it all. That's MVP Collectibles in the St. Augustine Outlets Mall, Suite 245, right across from the food court in the St. Augustine Outlets Mall. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6. Get your man cave popping today at MVP Collectibles.
It all starts with just one thing. Glass jars can be reused to store food and spices, as a holder for combs and brushes in the bathroom, or as a container for plants and homemade candles, in addition to simply being recycled. Find tips and more at onethingus.com.
We are the Armchair Quarterback Show, your first choice for sports talk live from the First Coast.
I don't even like Drake.
You don't like Drake? How could you not like Drake?
Who's Drake?
Who's Drake?
Drake is good.
I told you that Drake was bad. I hate the Drake.
If you're homeless, build a house. Be a man.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
But what the hell, boy?
Make sure to listen to the Armchair Quarterbacks. Good enough for us down here in the bayou. Go Tigers and the Armchair Quarterbacks.
It's morning.
Yes, and what a lovely morning.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There are people being convinced by conspiracy theorists while listening to them on satellite radio that the Earth is flat. An almost unfathomable level of irony. They call it a flat Earth debate to make it sound more intellectual. All right, there's two sides to the flat Earth debate. And if you're a flat earther right now, you're thinking, exactly. There's only two sides, you smug son of a bitch. There's the round side and the flat side. This is how insane this argument is. On the round side of this debate is every scientist alive. Not most, all of them. Every legitimate scientist, every astronomy and physics professor, every pilot who makes it to their destination consistently.
Armchair.
You're listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks, CBS Sports Radio, #1 sports station.
Good morning, and this is your Armchair Quarterbacks Sports Flash. What a day in Major League Baseball we have set for you here on Tuesday, August 24th. The Tampa Bay Rays at 7:05 are in Philadelphia to take on those mighty Phillies. And on ESPN Plus, the Red Sox are on the tube versus the Twins. First pitch, 7:10. Yankees and Braves are back at it. Andrew Heaney versus Charlie Morton. 7:45. Tigers are at the Cardinals. A rematch of the 1968 World Series. This time it's Casey Mize versus Jack Flaherty. Rockies and Cubs at 8:05 first pitch. Justin Steele with his 3.22 ERA up against German Marquez. And at 3:37, that's right, we've got an afternoon tilt on a Tuesday. It's Mariners versus A's. Chris Flexen and Cole Irvin. At 7:05, Angels versus Orioles. Dylan Bundy and Spencer Watkins deliver the batting practice pitches. And at 7:05, Diamondbacks and Pirates, Madison Bumgarner head-to-head versus Brubaker. White Sox and Blue Jays continue their battle. Dylan Cease and Jose Barrios set to take the bump. And the Giants are in Queens to take on the Mets. DeScaflini versus Tyler McGill. Rangers and Indians, 7:10 Eastern. Taylor Hearn versus Eli Morgan and his 5.8 ERA. Nats and Marlins, Eric Fetty versus Jesus Luzardo. And Reds and Brewers, Tyler Mahle versus Corbin Burns and his 2.13 ERA. Yikes. Royals and Astros, Brady Singer is on the hill versus Luis Garcia and his 3.39 ERA. And the Dodgers, they're at the Padres. Ryan Weathers with his 5.06 ERA. The Big Ten Conference announced its COVID-19 forfeiture policy Monday, saying conference games would not be rescheduled if they were unable to play on the scheduled date. In a statement, the Big Ten said, quote, "In collaboration and communication with the Big Ten Conference athletic directors, chancellors, and presidents, the Task Force for Emerging Infectious Diseases and the whole damn alphabet has determined that if one of its members in the institution is unable to play a conference game due to COVID-19 reasons, that contest will be declared a forfeit." The Big Ten is mirroring the policy of the National Football League for the 2021 season. And that's your Armchair Quarterbacks Sports Flash. Stay tuned for the Armchair Quarterbacks radio show and YouTube Live. Please like, subscribe, and share our show today. The Armchair Quarterbacks, your first choice for sports talk, live from the First Coast. Good morning. It's time to wake up, y'all. You're listening to the Armchair Quarterback Show. We're here weekdays on CBS Radio, YouTube Live, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. The Armchair Quarterback Show, your first choice for Southern sports talk. Good morning, Mr. Justin Waller.
Good morning. I don't know much, but I know one thing. Thank you, MLB TV, for the replay of the 2021 All-Star Game. I finally know who won and the Home Run Derby. Congratulations, Alonzo and Mets, on your last win.
Hi, I'm Mac McGinn. I don't know much, but I know one thing. If Sean Payton doesn't know who the starting quarterback is in New Orleans after last night, let me give you a hint, Sean. He going to be eating them W's. Eating them W's, baby. You're listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks.
Gotta say, fellas, this is coming together nicely. I might actually spend some time out here now.
With some fucking clothes on?
Not my forte.
Unfortunate.
You brings us sustenance while we're hard at work, Katie. That's what I appreciates about you.
Is that what you appreciate about me?
Go easy, Squirrely Dan. Thank
Your
you.
sister's hot, Wayne. There, I said it. I said it. I regret nothing. I regret nothing. Too fat to run.
Armchair.
Community Access Channel.
He's the armchair quarterback. He's full of beer and he's full
Howdy, hi. Top of the morning to you. Welcome to the Armchair Quarterback Radio Show. I'm Mac McGee with Justin Waller, starting you off with a little batting practice. Justin, how the hell are you?
I'm doing great, Mac. Wish some Braves would have got that W last night, but aside from that, I'm great.
Yeah, look, I'm what I was looking at going into this, to be perfectly honest with you, was a split.
Yep.
And I expected them to have the upper hand last night. I expect us to have the upper hand tonight. We've got Charlie Morton, who knows the Yankees. Of course, they know him too. But then we're going to go up against Andrew Heaney, who has been pummeled recently. And honestly, was a head scratcher when they made the trade for him. I think he was just an innings eater for them. So this is their best chance is tonight. Last night, I thought Noah pitched okay. I'm not going to kill the kid. He was going up against a very tough lineup. Thought he pitched okay. I just felt like our offense wasn't there. They didn't come up with big hits.
They're stagnant and too many untimely strikeouts. I mean, it killed them, man. When Noah got in trouble late, it was a 1-1 ball game, and Stanton busted it wide open with a double. So it's unfortunate, but the kid pitched well, especially considering.
Oh, and what a ripper too, wasn't it? Because the ball, I thought the thing was going to go over the wall. And we were all going to give up the one run, and the thing caromed and it looked like bumper pool. I was like, jeez. Basically two big at bats last night gave up those 4 runs. And conversely, Atlanta had a couple of opportunities, but they really never had many threats. So I thought that, how do you pronounce his name? Lasiga. That kid was phenomenal for the Yankees out of the bullpen. I've seen him pitch before, but it's been a while. And I was really impressed by him. I felt like the lefty that they came out in the 8th. I felt like we could have gotten to him. And I really look. I know he's had his struggles, and I also know he's elite over his career. But I don't see the fear that people have had in Aroldis Chapman if they had in years past. So I
agree, man. With Britton hitting the IL, that's big as well.
Yeah. So tonight, I would think he would be available, but hopefully they don't have the lead and we don't have to worry about it. And also, for people who don't follow the Yankees, there's something to be said about the fact that Boone does not trust him. And that's been well documented in New York. They just don't. So he's not their automatic closer necessarily. So he doesn't necessarily trust him across the board. But anyways, the Braves did lose a couple of things that went on in Major League Baseball. I think I lost Justin for a second. Here he is. Red Sox got a big win yesterday afternoon. They were down and out and rallied. That was a huge win. And then the Blue Jays White Sox game was big. But the Monday Night Football game, did you watch any of it?
I watched most of the first half, and then I tuned out after that.
I thought, first of all, Jameis played really well. But look, this is what Jameis does. I'm not going to overreact to the fact that he got hot in the first half and threw 2 incredible teardrops that by the way, great catch by Callaway. So you got the old Tennessee Florida State connection going on there. Down in the bayou. You and I might have to get some Saints jerseys. But Jameis has the ability to do this. He also has the ability to go out there and lose his mind. We haven't seen him do the stupid interceptions yet. Maybe that's coming. Maybe Sean Payton fixed him. I don't know. But I do know this. If you watched Taysom Hill, he's not the starting quarterback. He's a guy you can bring off the bench and do the utility knife thing that they like to do with him. But he's not a starting quarterback in the NFL, which I think we all pretty much knew that. What say you?
Well, I mean, I told y'all that LASIK surgery would work. He just didn't know which jersey he was throwing to previously. I also said he was going to come out smelling like a rose in this when Breeze retired, and here it is for him for the taking. And really like to see that, especially after you get booted out of Tampa Bay for whatever reasons that was, and then you have to watch the GOAT come in and win a ring with your former teammates. So, hey, earn the starting position, buddy.
Here's the other thing I found interesting that they said last night. And look, I know it's preseason, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. But those 2 touchdown passes, the lengths of those 2 touchdown passes, that's the first time the Saints offense has done that in a game since 2016. Yikes.
Well, let's talk the glaring elephant in the room. Let's talk that offensive line for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We scratched our head when Mr. Meyer re-signed Cam Robinson. And what's the temperature of the room down there? I mean, it's got to be getting hot. That offensive line, especially the tackles, are not performing for what you need to keep a Lawrence upright and healthy for an entire, not 16 game, 17 game season.
Amen to that, because he looks terrible. The offensive line looks terrible. I'll be honest with you, Justin, I'm not really impressed with the offense in general. Just the scheme, I was watching that game, and I watched a good part of it during the Braves game. And then when the Braves game ended, I went back and rewatched it so I could see the entire game and not have my focus on the baseball. But I was watching it, and the whole time that I was looking at this, all they keep talking about is Darrell Bevel this, Darrell Bevel that, new offensive coordinator. He's going to really do something. That looked like a non-power 5 offense at best last night. Everything was dinking. I'd have to pull up the stats, but I felt like there was 37 catches made by the tailbacks.
I feel like that's all there is time for him to get off. I mean, I truly think I'm head scratching even more the Robinson signing. But aside from that, you've got to make some moves, and you've got to figure out how to get some depth. And who's on the practice squad at this point? You got anybody on defense that can come over and play offensive tackle? Because you need some help.
And maybe not drafting ETN and drafting an offensive tackle with the number 25 pick overall should have been Urban Meyer's main focus. Because ETN, I don't care how good he is, and he did have a mild foot sprain, but they do believe that he's going to be okay. It doesn't matter how explosive you think he may be. It's not going to matter if, like you say, if Trevor Lawrence is flat on his back. It's that offense to me looks just it looks terrible.
I think it has key pieces, and I think in the skill positions outside and in the backfield, it's covered. But there's a glaring need, and NFL defenses will exploit that if they're seeing the holes in preseason. Just wait till week 1.
And once again, the best quarterback on the field was C.J. Beathard. Now, I don't think he's necessarily your starter, but he's a hell of a backup, and they've got to move Minshew. You got to do something. I don't know if you just release him, but I would try to trade him to a team. Look, we just saw this morning the Atlanta Falcons signed Josh Rosen. You're trying to tell me the Falcons wouldn't have given you some kind of a draft pick for Minshew? I'd have done it in a heartbeat. Because if you're going to take a chance on Rosen, you're going to take a chance on Minshew. I'm not saying one's necessarily better than the other, but I feel like they could have gotten some kind of a draft pick and gotten Minshew the hell out of there. He was 13 of 21 for 149 yards. He did have the interception. He got sacked, but Lawrence got sacked. Lawrence was 14 of 23 for 113. But Beathard is the one that lit it up. 9 of 14, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns, led 18 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. Final score, if anyone cares, is 23-21. I did care because I took the Jags plus the 4. Boop. And it looked like a terrible decision at the end of the third quarter. But I was like, let's go, baby. Let's get some preseason action going. I'm 2-0 in preseason. I took the Browns on Sunday. So there's that degenerate gambler right at your service.
So you're riding a Browns Jaguars hot streak.
Yes, in the preseason.
All right. All right. Don't sit next to me.
All right, let's go ahead and get into the first quarter of the Armchair Quarterbacks. Miami Hurricanes 2021. Here we are. Brian Cook. Where are you? Yeah, Brian, sorry, but things got changed up. So we had to do Miami today because it's a long story, but I basically had to move some stuff around because we're going out of town. So essentially what you got going on here with the Miami Hurricanes is they've got a team where they're bringing back almost everybody. But I also found it interesting because I was looking through the preseason prognostications on the first team and second team, third team offense and defense. There's only four names total on the first, second, and third team offense and defense preseason in the ACC, according to Athlon. It's Cameron Harris, the running back. He's second team for the second team offense, tailback. Excuse me. Zion Nelson, offensive lineman. He's second team. Silvera, the defensive line. He's second team. And then Derek King is third team. And if you're wondering, like, how the hell is he only third team? Well, this is the same conference that has Sam Howell and DJ Ugalele. Although I'm a little surprised that Derek King is below Ugalele, just considering the fact that Derek King's played much longer. But, you know, that is what that is.
Well, we watched Ugalele go toe-to-toe with, mine escapes me. I think it was a Notre Dame game, but I could be mistaken when Lawrence was out with his COVID protocol. So, I mean, we have seen game tape on him. But I agree that it probably needs to be flipped 2-3.
So with all that being said, what's your overall outlook? Because Miami starts off with Alabama, which that's just, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, and Miami's one of my worst enemies. But man, that's a rough start.
If you don't know how that turned out, ask a Tennessee fan. I'll tell you, that's an L. And we'll just move on to Appalachian State, first W of the season. Look, you get past the Alabama game, and you have to say, if not this year, when are they going to do it in the Coastal Conference? If you're going to have a chance, you need to knock off North Carolina, win your side of the division, and have that opportunity. This is your year to knock out Clemson, correct? Is there another year for it? I mean, you're returning pretty much. You're coming in your third year of Flores. You're returning your entire roster for the most part, and you've got a veteran leader, got his pocket full of money with NIL deals, and should be focused on football.
I mean, I agree. I think that trying to he's telling me to pay attention. I'm trying to send you the stupid freaking number, ding dong.
but I mean, going through that, and I'll run through them real quick. But just while you're doing that, it's a neutral game in Atlanta for Alabama to start off the season. Then you got Appalachian State, and these are all home games. If not at Michigan State, Central Connecticut, Virginia, they start off with 4 straight home games before their bye. Once they get that neutral game site in Atlanta, and then they open up the heart of their schedule at North Carolina, at home against NC State, at Pitt. You don't like either one of those 2 road games, could be trouble there. But if you get past it, you finish out November with Georgia Tech, at Florida State, Virginia Tech, and then at Duke. And hopefully you're walking into a December 4th meeting against Clemson.
Yeah, so the other thing that I'm looking at here with the Hurricanes is when you look at the schedule, okay, so obviously the Alabama game, and here's the thing that I remember when we saw Alabama play Florida State in Atlanta. Dude, that beat us up for like a month. First of all, we lost our starting quarterback, so hopefully that doesn't happen to Miami. But we lost our starting quarterback. The team just looked in disarray. And my biggest concern, if I'm a Miami Hurricane fan, is this. That opening game, okay, let's say that you're going to go ahead and concede defeat. And I know most fans aren't just going to concede defeat. They're not going to say, we're not just going to lose, because I wouldn't feel that way anyways. I know Florida State's going to be a big underdog against Notre Dame. I'm still not going to concede that we're going to lose. But what you're worried about is it killing the Miami Hurricane locker room before the season ever gets going. What if Alabama goes out there and hangs like 60 on Miami and it's like 60-10 or whatever? I don't expect it to be that way, but what if? It's not out of the realm of possibility, because Alabama they get 5-star athletes when you're out there getting 3 and 2s. Okay. What if that happens, Justin? At that point, does the season go down the crapper because you just kind of hang your dauber in the dirt? Now, the good news is you get the Appalachian State, which, by the way, they're the poster child for look out. So, I mean, Appalachian State is a program that could sneak up on you a week after Alabama, but let's just say they win that game. I don't think Michigan State's going to be an issue at all. Michigan State is far from recovering from what was basically dismantled when their head coach stepped down with no heads up, right? So Michigan State's about in the situation that Tennessee's in today, except I felt like the Tennessee at least had a little time to rebound. Michigan State got caught flat-footed. Then they get Central Connecticut, and then you go into ACC play. My only concern with Miami, if they lose that game big, was could some of the kids kind of give up, and then you get another loss before you expect to get one? Because after that, I think the North Carolina game is the next big game that you would be considered.
That October stretch, I mean, you coming out of the bye week is brutal. It's at Carolina, home against State, and then we've talked about Pitt all season. It's at Pitt, October 30th. Halloween might be flexed to a night game, depending on Pitt's schedule. Could be a big time game. And
NC State, look, when you have to go North Carolina, NC State at home, and at Pitt back to back, that just spells trouble to me. Georgia Tech used to have Miami's number from time to time, but I think that was because of the goofy option. That thing's gone, so I don't think they have to worry about it. The Florida State game, look, it's a rivalry game. It's in Tallahassee. They blew Florida State out last year. I expect Florida State to be a different team this year, but I kind of still have to give the edge to Miami unless we see something dramatic in that offense with Florida State and Milton, and we would know better by November 13th. But right now, I mean, what do you figure? Miami's a 10-point favorite today, but then probably by game time, it'll be somewhere under a touchdown.
Probably. I don't know if it's a full 10, but yeah, it's going to be above a touchdown.
Virginia Tech used to give Miami all kinds of hell, but I don't know if I'm convinced it's Virginia Tech. I'm with you. Look, that October stretch is going to tell the tale of the Miami Hurricanes, because the Alabama game doesn't realistically matter. Did you say Flores? Is it, the head coach's name is Diaz? I
went Dolphins on it, didn't I?
I didn't hear that when I was looking for the phone number he's telling me to put up. It doesn't call in.
Well, I mean, are you arguing with me? Would you not take Flores?
I think you take him as a defensive coordinator. I'll tell you what, as of right now, I think I would take Derek King over what they have at quarterback in Miami with the Dolphins.
All right, let's quit doing this before I get the whole roster screwed up.
I'm just saying right now.
Tua's going to come out and ball on his whole team, Alabama.
I would rather have Derek King than Tua Tagovailoa at this point. I'm calling it like I see it. That stretch in November, I think that, look, I mean, usually you would say the biggest game on Miami's schedule is usually Florida State, right? And then when you look at the big landscape, obviously the biggest win they could ever get would be Alabama this year. But the biggest game for the Miami Hurricanes in 2021 has got to be that October 16th date, because they're in the same division. If they beat North Carolina, assuming that they win other games that they should, that gives them a 2-game edge and would be the front runners to meet Clemson in the ACC title game.
I agree 100%.
Something Miami's never won. is the ACC title. So Miami, you got to figure, and the good news for them too, that Virginia game is a little over 2 weeks before the North Carolina game. So there's no look ahead worry that you have to get going there, because they play Central Connecticut. I mean, my God, they ought to beat them by 70. They play Central Connecticut on the 25th, and then they have a short week, but literally you can put your backups in against Central Connecticut and win by 20 or 30. Virginia is a Thursday night game, and then they get 2 weeks, so 16 days to get prepared for North Carolina. That's huge. That is huge for Miami. But NC State could be a team. If there's a fly in the ointment that I see, it's NC State. Because the following week, man, you get the big high, you beat North Carolina, like, let's go, baby, we're back, go, we're back. And then here comes NC State with a pretty damn good quarterback in their own right, and it's wah, wah, wah. You're like, oh, man, we're not back. We're just same old you. And then you can really get your dauber in the dirt, because Pittsburgh's going to be a pain in the ass. Anyone plays Pittsburgh this year, I can just tell you right now, they're going to be a pain in the ass. I don't know if they'll win 6 games. I don't know if they'll win 9 games, but Pittsburgh's going to be a pain in everyone's ass. Where do you see the Miami Hurricanes at the end of when it's all said and done? Are they in the ACC championship game? How many wins do they get? What say you?
I'm gonna go 10-2, and I think they're in the game.
Wow.
I think they dropped the Alabama, and then it's Carolina or Pitt. And I think with the time off, they get Carolina. I think coming off the exhale, it's probably Pitt. Could be State. I mean, that helps Miami's cause even better if it is State, because they're not in the same side of the division. So that one doesn't hurt as bad. But
I bet you Miami Hurricanes would
they would disagree with that. But
because I mean, I'm loving what you're saying. We beat a 1-loss Miami team in Tallahassee. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me. And that second loss would eliminate any chance.
I don't know if we're talking about your hypotheticals there. You might be facing an undefeated hypothetical in
Miami,
Tallahassee that week, November 13th.
The only way we're going to face an undefeated Miami team is if we play them September 3rd, the night before they play Alabama. I've got Miami dropping the Alabama game. I do think North Carolina is going to beat them, mainly because I think the two teams are very, very close together, and it's in Carolina, so give me that. And I think they'll drop one of the 3 games that we talked about: NC State, Pittsburgh, or Florida State. I would tend to side with Pittsburgh because they're the ones with the 7-year senior quarterback, and it's going to be in Pittsburgh in October. How cold is it going to be? And Miami boys don't like to go to Pennsylvania in October. And I'm going to have to see it to believe it with Florida State. I've got to see Florida State. I'm not as skeptical as I was the year that we won it all in 2013, because it wasn't until Jameis went and beat Clemson in Clemson that I was like, okay, well, I guess we are good. Because the whole time I was like, this team is not good. We're going to lose. With Florida State this year, I think that's a total rebuild. So I think they're going to lose 3 games: North Carolina, Alabama, and I'll go ahead and call it. I'll say that they lose to what the hell? I'll say Florida State, but it's more likely Pittsburgh. And that's going to leave them right outside the ACC title game. It'll be Carolina and Clemson most likely. And if that happens, I still think Miami could end up in a New Year's 6 bowl game. What is your walk-off for the day, sir?
After that trash talk, November 12th, I need, is it Brian that can come on? And we're just going to have straight Hurricane.
Is this Brian?
Trash talk on November
Yes,
12th.
it is.
Well, let's start it right now. That's my walk-off.
Hey, Brian, what do you got to say? We've only got about a minute or so. What you got?
This is a 10-2 football team to me. Week 1, of course, we got Saban staring me right in the face. And I think it's going to be closer than experts think. I put money in Vegas on Miami plus 18 against the points. They're bringing back a whole brand new offense. We're bringing back a lot of guys. I feel a little bit more confident in Manny calling the defense this year. And then I think we lose in North Carolina only until Manny proves me different. So I think this is a 10-2 football team, and we got NC State down here early on in the heat, so I'm not really scared about this schedule this year. We got a bunch of cupcakes on here, so
well, NC
State's
in late October. It is in Miami. It's in late October. I would think that might be a night game too.
Brian, what's Florida State prediction?
Another 59-10 shellacking.
Oh, here we go.
I'll take it.
You guys have not brought back anybody more than what happened last year. And last year,
I'm going to say what I saw on Twitter that I thought was apropos when it came to the Hurricane football. They always say they're back. The Taliban came back before the Hurricane football team came back.
I did see that. That was hilarious.
You got to win an ACC championship to even be relevant in this conference, baby. You got to make it to the title game. Can you make it to the title game?
Not unless North Carolina slips up a game here and there.
We can't unless they get us out of Clemson's division. That's a wrap right there.
No one's winning that until Dabo decides to go do something else better with his life.
Well, I figured Dabo's going to go to Alabama. So what I really need is for Nick Saban to retire. That'll start the dominoes. Get him the hell out of
We all need that. We all need that. No one likes him anyway.
I hope he goes to Clemson.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. Calling anytime. You got the number now. So
I'll try and save it this time.
All right, man. Good
right.
to hear from you. All right. Justin, we will see you Friday, my friend. I know I gave it to you. Who the hell are we doing Friday? Is it the Titans?
Tighten up, baby.
Yeah, baby. Tighten up on Friday. All right. I look forward to it. We'll be back in a flash here with Bobby, and we're going to do some fantasy football. We'll be back here on the Armchair Quarterbacks. Keep it locked in here to CBS Sports Radio and YouTube Live.
Sit short. I'm not playing your stupid game.
It all starts with just one thing. When recycling, rinse out jars and cans and avoid recycling waxed paper or paper soiled with food. This will reduce recycling contamination. Find tips and more at onethingus.com. What's your one thing?
Stay locked in on Armchair Quarterbacks Radio. Always just moments away from the big play.
There's Cunningham. Dodges left. And puts it way downfield for Fred Barnett, who has the catch. And the race is on. There are no flags. A 95-yard touchdown. The ball just over the goal line of the Cowboys. Dorsett, single setback. Big opening for Tony Dorsett. Look out. He's got great speed. 99 yards and a half. Dorsett down the sideline. Stays in bounds. Can you believe that? 99.5-yard run, I think, is the longest run in the history of the league. Here's Cunningham back to throw it and going deep, and he's got Moss, and there's a flag on the play, and Moss is on the pass, and it's in the end zone anyway. Touchdown. Just throw it as far as you can. Randy Moss is amazing. Randall Cunningham is amazing.
This year, choose a yogurt that's right for you. With 2 grams of sugar per 5.3 ounce serving. Too Good Greek yogurt is too good to be true. So Delicious dairy-free yogurt and Silk yogurt alternatives are delicious plant-based swaps you can enjoy by the spoon or add to recipes. Oikos 000 yogurt and Light and Fit yogurt are tasty, non-fat yogurt options. So many flavors, varieties, and possibilities. Elevate any recipe and your everyday with yogurt. Shop at Target.
Beat Yourself Up hotline.
Is this the Beat Yourself Up hotline?
Yes, sir. If you'd like to beat yourself up, this is the place to do it.
Okay, I'd like to beat myself up now, please.
Go right ahead when you're comfortable.
I am so stupid. I can't believe how stupid I am. What an idiot.
Are you beating yourself up for not getting the best sports talk show out there? Quit beating yourself up. Instead, listen to the Armchair Quarterbacks. Beat up the competition. Armchair Quarterback Radio, your first choice for sports talk here on the First Coast.
I have to do this to myself every year. When, oh, when will I learn?
You beat yourself up very well, sir.
Thanks. Why didn't I think of that?
Well,
why do I have to have somebody else tell me what to do?
Oh, sir.
When, oh, when will I ever have an original thought?
Armchair.
What's happening in sports?
find out when it happens. Get the CBS Sports app free in the Android market and iTunes App Store.
Now, you kid, I know my wife cheats on me. Every time I come home, the parrot says, quick, out the window, you know? My kids, they don't help either. No good, huh? No, my kids, they're very smart kids I got, you know. Yeah. But the other day I told my kid, I said, someday you'll have children of your own. He said, so will you. And my daughter, too, she's no bargain either, my daughter. You kidding? Well, she's been picked up so many times, she's starting to grow handles. My daughter, they call her Federal Express, you know.
What's that?
Yeah, when she goes to a guy's apartment, she absolutely positively has to be there with her.
Welcome back, Bobby. All right. That's what I figured. I didn't think you were in the league, but you said you were. I was like, okay.
I thought you were talking about the show. If I was in the show, my bad. No, that league's full, I believe. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it is now because you waited. I'm going to try to hit this one here on Sportsmanlike Conduct. It's about 6 minutes out.
6 minutes out. Let's find it.
And it's an 8-man draft, so we can get through it pretty fast.
Unsportsmanlike. Yeah. I got like a 7th pick or something. 6th. There we go.
All right. Well, then I'll move far away from you because that's a terrible idea. So
yeah, I can get one.
Right.
Yeah, I'll get one. I'll get one this time around. I think you got it last time.
Quit moving, dude.
Trying to switch it up.
I don't want to be on top of each other. You're on 6, I'm on 8. I moved to 2, and you moved to 1. Quit holding my hand. All right. Okay, so that'll start in a few minutes. And while we get ready for that fantasy draft to begin, I'm interested to see, we're going to do your NFL picks this week because in 2 weeks when the NFL season is rolling around, we'll be in Nashville. We won't have a show on Tuesday. So that's why we're doing the NFL picks this week, and then we'll get your college picks next week. So we want to go division by division, all the wild cards, all that stuff. Give me 1 second. All right. I'll always keep up with these.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's only one way to do this. All right. Trying to do 9 things at once here because none of y'all can figure out the internet. I understand when Doug's 60-year-old ass can't figure out the internet. when the young squire can't figure it out, it concerns me. All right.
I'm an ESPN guy.
That says so much about you, man.
Just for fantasy.
None of it's good. ESPN is the worst rated fantasy app in all.
So simple though. It's easy to use.
It's terrible.
That and the sleeper app. I like the sleeper app. That one's good.
It is terrible for news, everything. It's just, it's absolutely terrible. And you can't even conduct the leagues you want. Oh, it's just so terrible.
That is true.
I'll never understand why people go through ESPN. I was in one league that I had to be in. What the hell is this? In the actual fantasy with ESPN, and I am out of that league, thankfully. All right, what the hell? Okay. All right, so go ahead and hit me up with your picks. I might have to ask you again in a second because I'm trying to do 9 things at once. All right, so where you started? Let's start off with the AFC East. Who's going to win the AFC East, and then we'll go from there.
I've got the Bills by a pretty fair margin. I think they're going to be a really good team this year, and I think the Dolphins are going to be second in that division. I don't think they're going to be quite close enough to win it, so I'll give it to the Bills pretty handily.
Okay. What is your reasoning behind that?
I think the Bills are just a much better team. That offense is good. I expect Zach Moss to have an improved year this year in his second year. Stephon Diggs and Allen are obviously one of the best duos in the league. And I think that's one of the best teams in general in the AFC this year.
And you don't think the Miami Dolphins can hang with them at all?
No.
All right.
No, their offensive line is too weak, and 2 is too much of a question mark.
He's not a question mark in my book. He's trash.
Well, yeah, that's the bad end of the question mark. If they get that version of Tua, then yeah, there's no shot. No shot at all.
All right. So we'll go ahead and start it off with that. We're going to put yours down as and you don't give New England any chance.
No.
All right.
No, I'm not too high on them.
All right. So the AFC South, what you got?
The AFC South has the Titans. With the Colts battling as many injuries as they are, I think the Titans win it pretty easily. I think the Colts still have a shot to come back and be a wild card team, but with all the stuff they're dealing with, I think the Titans got it.
Yeah, that division could be a runaway. I hope. Carson Wentz is the big question mark to me because if he's he came back to practice yesterday. If he ends up being healthy and is the 2017 version of Wentz pre-injury, you might have something there. But I don't believe in any of that.
They still got to worry about Quentin Nelson coming back too because he's battling the same injury that Wentz has.
Right. But look, this is a quarterback league, and they're going to have to put up points. As good as that defense, which I think it will be a pretty darn good defense, it's going to wear down if they're on the field all the time.
Yeah.
We know the Texans are not going to be a threat because I don't know if Deshaun Watson's even going to step foot on the field for many reasons. But so I have to put them off to the side. Jaguars have not looked good at all. I watched their offense. Their offensive line is the biggest question mark. They're going to be trash. And so I'm with you on that. Who's got a better chance of being upset, Buffalo or Tennessee?
I'll say Tennessee has a better chance of being upset just because the Colts defense, like you said, is good enough to keep them in games. But ultimately, it really comes down to Wentz and his health and how he plays.
I'm going to say it's Buffalo. And the reason why, if they'll get their head out of their ass and put Mac Jones behind center, the Patriots are going to have a good defense. And if the Dolphins and Tua can grow up one more year, the rest of the parts of the Dolphins are really good. But anyways, I'll do my picks the week of the actual NFL season. All right. So where are you going with the North?
I got the Browns winning the division here, with the Ravens coming in second. The Browns overall, I think they have a great team. I don't think Baker is as great of a quarterback as some people make him out to be, but overall they have enough pieces around him to make him look very good and make the team as well just move well. So.
I'm going to go ahead and set up the share so that we can get that rolling here.
Well, I think 2 minutes before it starts.
There we go. All right. So Bobby, so since this is a much smaller draft, I'm going to shorten the screen up. We got you going here. All right. So we'll put the thing there so everyone can see that. And then that's enough right there. All right. So you're going where again? I'm sorry. I was doing like 9 things at once.
You're good. I'm going with the Browns for the AFC North. I think they're the most well-rounded team, one of the most well-rounded teams in the league, but easily in the AFC North. So I'm going to go with them.
And the West, anyone but the Chiefs?
I got the Chiefs, but it's a lot closer than I think people think it is. I think the Chargers are going to be pretty close on their tail. I think the Chiefs will ultimately win the division, but I really like the Chargers this year.
Okay, so then who are your 3 wild cards in the AFC?
Well, I'll start with the Chargers since I already mentioned them. I really like Herbert. I wasn't a big fan of him going into the draft, but he's proved me wrong completely. I like how they've rebuilt that offensive line quite a bit. They still have Keenan and Mike Williams to throw to. The defense are getting Derwin James back, so I think the Chargers are probably going to be the best wild card team. I think the Ravens, I think they'll be the second wild card team. And then the third one, I think the Colts will ultimately. I think if Quentin Nelson can come back from injury soon enough, I think they'll probably take the last wild card spot over the Dolphins.
Okay, and so then we go over to the NFC. Who are your division winners over there?
I'll start with the North. I got the Packers. Since obviously we know that Rodgers and Adams are coming back for another year. I think that I don't want to guarantee anything, but I've got them locked in as the winner of the North. And then the NFC South, I've got the Bucs winning pretty handily, I think. I think that won't be very close at all. The NFC East, I think this will be a close one, but I got Washington winning it. I love their defense this year. Their front seven is one of the best, if not the best, in football. And I think Fitzpatrick's enough of a winning quarterback to get him into the playoffs. So, and then off to the NFC West, I got the Rams winning that division.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but
so pretty much chalk. I think that's going to be a lot of people's picks. Is
yeah.
I don't see, the only thing I'd say it's a little off the beaten path of all your picks is maybe the Browns, but I think a lot of people will pick the Browns.
I think the NFC East might also be a little bit of a toss up. Some people picking the Cowboys. Oh, here we are.
Yeah, but I think the people who pick the Cowboys don't know what the hell they're talking about.
I'm gonna kind of surprised by making this pick, but I feel like I owe it to him. I picked Henry number one, and I only pick. I'm scared to pick McCaffrey after last year. I had him last year, and it did not end well for me.
Well, that's fair because we've all been burned by guys. When you're burned by guys, you can't be talked into drafting them ever again. You're like,
I'm terrified of picking him.
Yeah,
I mean, he had three injuries. He had three separate injuries last year that kept him out pretty much the entire season. I got hosed.
Right. No, I get it. I mean, I would take CMC, but then again, I don't know if I've ever had him because I never get the good luck of being getting a top pick. I always end up like in the middle of the pack. I don't know what the hell that's about. Real quick, who are your three wild cards?
My three wild cards in the NFC. I've got the 49ers. I think at some point or another, Trey Lance is going to come in, and based on what I've seen in the preseason, he hasn't been perfect, but for the most part, I've liked what I've seen.
Right, so it's coming to my pick.
So, there we go.
And got all these guys available. I'm going to go ahead and err on the side of caution. I'm going to grab Aaron Jones, man. Aaron Jones is money. He's money in the bank every single year. And look, if Aaron Rodgers wasn't back, I wouldn't be taking him because I'd be worried about them stacking the line. But I still think A.J. Dillon is guy that's going to spell him. He's not going to be him. And since it came back to me, I'll go ahead and double down on the Packers. I'll grab Devontae Adams. And
that's a good pick at 10.
Yeah, at 10 for him to fall that far. Absolutely. Okay, so you got the 49ers. Who are your other two wild cards?
My other two wild cards are, I hate to say it, my heart wants to say the Cardinals, but my mind says the Seahawks. I don't really trust Cliff Kingsbury's offense, and I think the Seahawks have a lot more experience. I think they'll ultimately take the second wild card spot. And then the third, I'm not going to take three NFC West teams. I'm going to say the Cowboys. I like that offense. I like Dak. Contrary to some people's belief, I do like Dak. I think him, Cooper, and Gallup, that's absolute. That's just a lot of firepower with Zeke in the backfield. Sorry. So I like the Cowboys offense a lot this year. Their defense is the big concern, though.
So who meets in the NFC Championship game?
The NFC Championship game, I don't want to count out the Bucs, but it's hard to. I'm going to say the Rams. I know Stafford isn't known for being quite the biggest playoff winner, but I really like that offense and defense as well this year. I think they're a very good team. So here, I'll go ahead and pick Calvin Ridley real quick.
Okay.
I'll pick Ridley, and then with 17, I'll take Gibson.
Wow, you don't go after your boy Hopkins?
No, I like Ridley. I like Ridley a lot in fantasy this year.
Wow.
I'm a little bit concerned about Matt Ryan, but I think Ridley, he's going to have that wide receiver one role, and then I think he's going to put up big numbers.
Rams versus who in the NFC Championship game?
I'll say the Packers. I hate counting out Brady. It's probably going to come back to bite me, but I think the Packers, I think.
AFC
I don't know. That's tough.
AFC Championship.
Yeah, I'll go with Rams Packers. The AFC Championship, I'll go with Titans Chiefs. I like the Titans this year, and I'm being a little bit of a homer with this pick, but I really like A.J. Brown and Julio on the field at the same time. With Henry in the backfield, I think that trio is going to be nearly impossible to stop for defenses. So I'll go with the Titans, and then, like I said, playing the Chiefs.
Okay. And as soon as I make my picks, we'll come back to the Super Bowl. All right, so it's my turn. My team looks like this. I've got Adams and Jones. I'm going to go ahead and shore up my backfield. I'm going to play the safe pick and grab Joe Mixon. I know I know everyone's in love with Edwards-Helaire. I didn't see enough from him last year to make me fall in love with him. And I want to make sure that I get a guy that's going to be the cornerstone of the offense. And I'll shore up the rest here in a minute. I've already got Devontae Adams at receiver. At this point, I'm going to grab the best player that I think is available. The best player. I'm not going to worry about upside, downside. And it really comes down to Chicago. I'm going to go with David Montgomery. The guy was on
I like that pick.
fire last year. That gives me my running backs. And then also, if Mixon doesn't work out, I'm okay. I can go ahead and put Montgomery there, and I'll worry about my receivers here in a second. Who is going to the Super Bowl and who wins it, Bobby?
I got the Chiefs going back for a third straight year, and as tradition kind of states, I'm going to go with the Packers losing in the NFC Championship again. So it'll be a Rams-Chiefs Super Bowl, and I think ultimately the Chiefs will come out on top.
Okay.
2 Super Bowls in 3 years for them.
We'll come back to this in February and laugh about it.
Probably.
That's about as safe as you can go, though. I mean, if you're going to, I mean, that's about as chalk as you can go. I'd say maybe Green Bay would be it's probably going to be everyone's chalk. It'll probably be Kansas City, Green Bay, or Kansas City, Tampa Bay. It's going to be a Bay that most people are going to pick, but I like the Rams pick. Losing Cam Akers hurts, but they do have quite a few running backs in their backfield. So
yeah,
it's going to be fun to watch what McVay can do with a rifle-armed quarterback. And I'm not trashing Jared Goff. Jared Goff's a decent quarterback in the National Football League, but we know that he's limited compared to what Stafford can do. Yeah. And it's also going to be fun to see Stafford on a good team for the first time in his career.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. As much as I don't like the Rams, I think he's going to do well with that offense.
So did I miss your pick?
I went with Woods and Kittle.
Okay, I did miss your picks. Okay, so Ridley, Woods, Henry, Antonio Gibson, and Kittle. Okay, so it's coming back to me here in a second, and I've got my receiver, I've got my running backs, and my flex. So I'm going to definitely looking at receiver at this point. And look, I've been known to be a running back whore. I'm tempted to grab Miles Sanders and then come back and get the best receiver available. But I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with your boy here, Josh Allen. That gives me, in my opinion, the best fantasy quarterback this year. I do think he's going to be over KC, Mahomes, because they have no running game. So he's going to constantly throw, and he runs a lot too. So I don't think they'll be separated by many points, but honest engine, I think Josh Allen is, in my book, just a tad above Mahomes. So it's going to come back down to me, and I've got to get a receiver. So sometimes I just do this, so I can't cheat my way out of it and go, oh, look at there's another running back I like. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a receiver. All these guys have question marks, but I'm gonna go ahead and go with DJ Moore. He's getting new life. He's got a new quarterback there. This will be a second year in Matt Rule's offense. I think they're going to put some points up, and he's 2 years removed from noodle arm Cam Newton running the show. And I think he's finally going where he should be going, which I got him in the 5th round, 6th round, but you can really call this about the 5th round because it's an 8-man league. In years past, DJ Moore has been sold to us as a 2nd and 3rd round pick. And I famously have got up on soapbox that you don't pick DJ Moore in the 2nd round. Joe Mixon was going in 1st rounds last year as well as the year before. And I always thought they were two of the most overrated players in fantasy football. That number has moved now. Now they've finally gone down to where they should be drafted in, and so I feel good about it. You're on the board, Bobby. So where are you going with your picks?
I'm going to go with Julio here.
Okay.
It's between him and Ayuk, but I think I'm going to go with Julio. Let's see. Let me look at my team real quick. I'll go ahead and get some depth at running back, so I can have those 2 positions kind of safe. I'm going to go with Mike Davis here.
Okay.
He's going to be the running back 1 in the Falcons offense. I think he'll put up enough numbers to be a running back 2 on most teams. Maybe not in an 8-man league, but he'll be solid depth for my team.
Now, my team, what I'm looking at here is coming up. I've got all these. If there's an elite tight end there, I'll take him. But I think, Pitts just went. I figured Pitts would be gone. So the only other guy that you could say is quote unquote elite would be Mark Andrews. If he's there, I'll take him. But it wouldn't shock me if I don't know if Auto Draft Boy has already got a tight end, but I think Rob or Ice.
There he goes.
Yep, there he goes.
The
So
board.
I seriously doubt that there's an elite tight end left. See if there's no. All these guys are interchangeable. So I'm not likely to go there. I'm going to go with the best flex available. And I'm going to grab your boy Ayuk.
I like it. He hasn't looked great in preseason. I'll tell you that though.
No, he has.
But it's preseason.
It is preseason.
Yeah.
It's going to come back down to me. And once again, I think I can punt the tight end for another go round for me. So I think I'm going to go and get some depth. ETN worries me. He sprained his foot as well. That offense looks like trash. I'm going to play the safe bet and go Damian Harris, even though I know if in real life, if I draft him, I better get Sony Michel, because I never know what the hell is in Bill Belichick's head. And if you get Sony Michel, you might need to grab 2 more backups, because by week 7, you don't know who the running back's going to be. But it's coming back to you, and you don't have a quarterback. Everything else is full of interest. Are you going quarterback here, or are you thinking depth?
That's the plan. I'm going to go quarterback here if my guy's on the board, which I imagine he will be. And, yep. I don't know why he's ranked below Jalen Hurts, truthfully, but I'm going to pick Aaron Rodgers here.
Yeah.
I think he's the best quarterback left on the board.
I thought about that, but with this team, I was like, man, if I have Rodgers and Jones and Adams, the Packers bye week, Packers bye week is going to be a bitch.
And just to have as much running back depth as possible, I'm going to go with Edmonds. That'll make my 4th running back.
Okay.
Real quick.
So you'll have Edmonds. All right. I like it.
Edmonds, Davis, Henry, and Gibson. I think that's pretty solid running back core. I shouldn't have too many things to worry about.
Looks like Woods, Ridley, and Julio Jones. So you like that. Let me see. My team right now, the only thing I'm missing is a tight end. So I'll probably grab one in one of these next 2 go rounds. On my bench, I've got a receiver and running back. I've got 4 running backs total. I have 3 receivers total. If everything's even, I'm going to go receiver because I like being balanced. We'll see what happens here. All right. See, tight end. So many people are big on Higbee. If he's there, I might take him. But I don't see him being. Now, if I had Aaron Rodgers at this point, I'd probably just go ahead and grab Tunyon and say to hell.
Have the whole Packers offense.
Right. But outside of that, I'll probably go Higbee. If he gets taken, I might take a few picks and either go Godare or Fant. So kind of have to wait to see where they are. All right. So Higbee's there. I'll go ahead and take Higbee, get that off the board. And then my flex, I'm going to go with the best flex available. And there's a lot of question marks here when you look at all this, but I've got to look at the way my team is constructed with the running backs and the receivers. I should probably go receiver here. So let me see. I think I'm going to go ahead. Man, you just can't talk me into Jamar Chase. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
There's just too many question marks with him. And then
if he was showing out in preseason, I'd be more willing to pick him, but he's been pretty rough so far.
Yeah, honestly, I think I'm going to go with I think Robbie Anderson's actually safer bet. And then that way I've got Robbie Anderson and more. That's the main reason why I did it. That way if one of them gets banged up, I've got the other one. And when it comes back to me around again, then I'll worry about like more even depth. All right. So your team is coming up. You've got all your starters. You've got 2 guys on your bench. It is the 10th of 15 rounds. We're not gonna be able to do turn back time and birthdays today, y'all, because we're gonna run over time, which is fine. But looking at your team, how are you waiting to do defenses at the very end? And now you're looking for depth or what?
Yeah, something's happened. I accidentally clicked rushing yards, and now it's showing about like something weird right here. I'm gonna look at your screen. Go with who I want. Okay. Let's search that. Or actually, here, I got an idea. I got a guy in mind.
What position? I mean, I can move it for you.
I'm going receiver here. I already got him searched up. You don't got to do anything right now. Let's see.
Who are you thinking?
I like Curtis Samuel. It might be a little bit high for him, but I saw his name and I figured I'd get him right here. I like Curtis Samuel a lot. I had him last year. He was a flex play in my 12-team league for a good portion of the year, and he put up good numbers. And I think he'll do well in that Washington offense. I'll go receiver again. I'll pick Claypool. I think he'll have a solid role in the Steelers offense, and that kind of rounds out my receiver core.
Okay. I am looking at now. What I'll probably do here is I'll probably go ahead and get some depth at quarterback. A lot of times with my backup quarterback, I look and see what. Now I'm not going to go out and get. I'm not going to go crazy and grab Carolina's quarterback. So I'm probably going to just go best guy available. I'm not, dude. Tom Brady's not a good fantasy quarterback. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
Tom Brady cares about winning. And there will be weeks where he has over 300 yards passing and 3 or 4 touchdowns. Like, hell yeah, I'm glad I have Brady. There's going to be weeks where you're like, dude, what? Oh, God, Brady, 180, no touchdowns, but his team won by 24. So I want someone who's going to have to chuck it. And I'd be willing, because I've got Josh Allen and I wouldn't ever have to start him any other time, I'd be willing to take a chance on a Jalen Hurts if he was there. If he goes, I'll probably go Matthew Stafford, and then that's 2 really safe picks. Joe Burrow is inviting as well. I'm gonna go. You know what? No, I'm gonna go Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow could blow up and get out of that, and I'm gonna go back to my flex. And considering the fact that I've got 2 receivers, 1 running back on my bench, but I've got a running back in my flex. I'm going to go ahead and see what the best running back available is. And oh, what a nightmare this is. And so I'm going to go ahead and take the starting running back for the Bills, Zach Moss. If they develop a running game, I'll be glad to have him because I already have Josh Allen. If they don't, then I'll just end up dropping his ass anyways. So it's coming back to you here in a second. Where are you going?
I think I'm going to go ahead and try and grab a backup quarterback here and then another running back. And then I think I'll have how many bench?
Well,
you know?
by round 14, we have to go kicker defense. So there's 15. So you've got these 2 picks, and then the next time around will be kicker defense.
Okay. I'll probably grab, let's see. I'll probably go just quarterback, tight end, get those 2 backup positions done. I know you don't typically go backup tight end, but just in case.
It's not a terrible idea.
Yeah, just in case Kittle goes down. I mean, you saw it happen last year. So I'm going to go ahead and grab him or grab a backup tight end.
Who's the backup tight end that you're looking at?
Kind of, I don't know. Logan Thomas, he's still on the board. Never mind. Looks like it just went.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. So I'll probably have my eyes on Gesicki or Irv Smith. I'll go with Gesicki just because this is, I think, Irv's first year being the starter. So I'll take him. And I like what he did last year as a Pro Bowler. I think that's a solid pick right there. And then I'll go ahead and get my backup quarterback as well. Let's see.
By the way, y'all steer clear of Troutman. They carted him off the field last night. Lower leg injury. They haven't said what it is, but it can't be good.
So right here, I'm either going to go with Stafford or Kirk Cousins. I'll go with Stafford just because he's in a much more high-powered offense. And Kirk's a little bit more of a consistent fantasy quarterback. In years past, he's been a great backup for a long time in fantasy. But I'll give Stafford a shot this year.
All right.
So I picked him in a few leagues.
So I'll put it back on mine. I've got 1 player and then a defense I can pick. If he's still there, I'm going to take a chance on Deebo Samuel. The guy, when he's on the field, is like absolutely phenomenal. Is today the 24th?
Yes.
Okay. Son of a gun. I'm off today, and I did not know that. I was looking at my schedule. I don't think that. Well, hell, I'd be lying if I told you I knew my actual schedule. I don't. That side job I do, man. I just wake up in the morning. I don't know. Am I working? What time can I start drinking beer? All right. So came to me. I'm going to take my chance on Deebo Samuel. He's got that ability to be something special. If I was going to go with another guy in this range that you're looking at right here, I tell you a guy that I think a backup tight end choice wouldn't be bad would be Dallas Goedert. Okay. But I didn't go with that. I've got Higbee, and if he sucks, I'm just going to basically stream it. I worry more about having a backup tight end if I drafted a tight end high. The reason why is I don't want garbage points out of my tight end if that guy gets hurt. If I didn't draft him high, then I really don't care. So let's go to defense. I'll grab the best defense available. Let's go to Denver. Denver should have a pretty good defense. Kansas City's tempting. I just worry about them getting into shootouts. So, and Bobby, you really need to look at our points system because it's going to be different than a lot of things you've played in before. Defense
in the auction league.
The auction league this Friday night. Aren't you in that one too?
Yeah.
And then the league that's next Wednesday, which is what the big trophy's about. The auction league Friday night is just $5, winner take all, but all of our leagues have the same scoring system. And the gist of it is defenses are a little more important. They score more, but it doesn't mean that they're that big of a difference between one defense and another. But points allowed, yards allowed, all that stuff comes into play with our defenses. It's not just the boring ass, oh, did I get a sack? Did they get a kickoff return for a touchdown? Which never freaking happens. So that's why I designed it this way. So it's coming to you. You're going to go to what, defenses and kickers?
I am. I'm going to go with, let's see. I'm going to go with Cleveland's defense here. I like their secondary a lot. I like Newsome. They added John Johnson as well in free agency. I think they'll be solid.
I'm interested to see what the Chargers defense is going to look like with Derwin James back because that guy
if he could stay healthy. If he could stay healthy.
Exactly. Well, that's been his entire college and pro career.
Get the kickers. There we go. I'll go with Prater. I'll be a little bit of a homer here since it's just a mock draft. But our red zone offense wasn't particularly good last year, and it hasn't looked great in the preseason. So I think Prater could be a high scorer in fantasy for kickers.
All right. And so I'll go and do my kicker since we stuck around this long. Once again, every time I do this, I get what is going on here. All right. When it comes to kickers, I like to have guys who are going to kick indoors. That's always a big get. But I'm looking at the Blankenship. If Blankenship is still there, I'll probably grab him because I think their offense is going to be good enough to get it in the red zone, but not good enough to score. So one of my other favorite ones is Jason Sanders. Same reason. Tua Tagovailoa. His offense is going to be absolutely trash.
I think he was the highest fantasy scorer for kickers last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
I did a mock yesterday and I saw that.
All right, so we go to Blankenship, and I'll go ahead and grab him. So I'll go ahead and get off of that. All right. So
there we go.
There we go.
Team.
There we go. There we have it. Oh, yeah. I guess I should look at the actual team itself. I didn't think about that. Draft results. Oh, no. Standings. That's what you want. All right. So where's your team? So 3,300. All this stuff, though, really comes down to project.
Where's my team at? Are you?
You're
okay. I see it.
But you have to look at the fact that they base us off of like bye weeks and everything. So
okay.
It's all an algorithm, essentially.
I'm not too worried about the rankings. Most of my teams were ranked pretty low in fantasy last year, and I ended up doing pretty solid. So I don't typically pay too much attention to them.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
they really go off of off the rankings and what's based on each week, et cetera, et cetera. And to be honest with you, that algorithm is actually kind of goofy. But this is your team right here: Rogers, Ridley, Woods, Henry, Gibson, Kittle, Jones, Davis, Edmonds, Samuel, Chase Claypool, Gasecki, and Stafford. And then you got Cleveland and your kicker, which obviously won't be the same kicker you have at the end of the year. And then my team looks like this: Josh Allen, Devontae Adams, DJ Moore. I have question marks about him, but I was willing to give him a chance. Aaron Jones and Mixon and Montgomery, I think, is pretty solid for a running back core / flex. And then Higbee was a tight end I got later. I like my depth with Ayuk and Damian Harris and Robbie Anderson, Joe Burrow. I went a little bit outside my comfort zone. I haven't drafted a lot of these guys, and just looking at where it's all going to hit. One thing I don't. Oh, okay. Here's the bye weeks right here. So 13 is going to suck for me. So I bet you that's one of the reasons why 4 guys out on 13. So
I kind of like having all your bye weeks on 1 week though, because you can kind of tank that week and then get back to rolling. I kind of like doing that.
The only thing I don't like is when it's that late in the season.
Yeah, that is true.
I like tanking like in week 6, week 13.
Yeah,
you might be needing that W, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you got to like wreck your roster just to make the playoffs. That's the only thing I don't like about that. What is your walk off for the day, sir?
All right. Rays and Phillies are on tonight at 6 Central Time. I might be able to tune into that. So
you might
another baseball game. Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'll give it a shot. I'll look. I'm not a big baseball guy, but I'll carve out some time for it.
What else are you gonna watch?
I'm a little bit busy with college today. I got some stuff going on. I got a late class today,
Mr.
and then I got to go get.
Archie wants to read and stuff. No, and all joking aside, make sure you do that, man. Seriously, make sure.
Yeah, I will absolutely.
Look, if Rays Phillies, I mean, that should be a hell of a ball game, and we really need the Rays to win, us Braves fans, because the Phillies are about to play some really crappy teams. The Rays are like the last time that they're going to play someone good for about a week and a half. So I need the Rays to sweep the Phillies. Now, the Rays are my second favorite team, so it's weird for me calling them they and us, but I'll always be Atlanta Braves through and through. But Tampa Bay is my second favorite team. I'm going to be locked in on both of those games. And hell, there's a lot of good baseball. Giants, Mets are on tonight. Do you not find it strange that there's no Thursday night NFL this week?
I think there was the last couple of weeks, right?
There was, but there's
had it Thursday through Monday night or whatever.
We don't get another preseason game till Friday night.
That's weird.
They've never done that. Like, it's so strange, and I'm trying to figure out what in the hell is going on Thursday night that they don't want to go up against it. But
yeah,
it can't be a random baseball game because you're going to be going up against that on Friday anyways. So it can't be that. And
it's ultimately it's just preseason. So
I know, but I'm just used to seeing it. There's no college football.
Yeah.
I thought maybe that there was a random weird college game that was going to be popping up, but there's no college football. And then obviously all the other major sports are not doing anything. So I don't know what in the hell is it, some holiday that I don't know about?
I don't know. Yeah, that's weird.
Anyways, that's my walk off for the day is catch all the baseball because we're coming down the home stretch. Got about 5 weeks left in the season and every game counts immensely. And Tampa's got to get some W's because the Yankees are hot on their damn trail. Those dudes,
they've been good since the trade deadline, right?
They've won 10 in a row.
Yeah.
They need to chill the hell out is what they need to do. I want to see a Boston, New York wild card game. That would be the greatest thing for baseball. A 1-game plan for all the marbles.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
They're going to screw it up and win the division. And then we'll end up with Tampa Bay and Boston. All right, brother, we will see you next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we'll probably do a little more of this, but we're going to do some the college football kickoff. Be ready for that.
Awesome. Sounds good.
We will see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow, Sean is with us, and I think it's a couple of Big Ten teams that we're doing tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow on the Armchair Quarterbacks on YouTube Live and CBS Sports Radio.
Goodbye, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We're back tomorrow with another show. Well, unless we're fired, we'll talk to you then. Goodbye, sweetheart. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Guys and gals, it's time to go. We'll see you on the next show.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Thanks for listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks on these CBS Sports affiliates and catching the show on YouTube Live. We're here weekdays. Find Armchair Quarterbacks on YouTube Live today. Please subscribe and share and take us everywhere you go. The Armchair Quarterbacks, your first choice for Southern sports talk, live from the First Coast.
Gonna get